Good morning, fourth grade online learners. A little bit late video today. We had a fire drill this morning. All went well, and nice day outside. But fourth grade, I would like to have a special guest stand in front of the computer and tell you about his shirt because it relates to what we're talking about. And that is no other than Mr. Orson Welles. Orson Halad.
You want me to come up?
Yep, come stand where I'm standing. Look, you'll see yourself. And move a little closer so we can see your shirt. Orson, tell us about your shirt. Move closer. That's kind of scary.
Well,
but that's
hello.
Okay. Go ahead, Orson. Tell us about your shirt.
Hello, online learners. So my shirt is, it's related to volcanoes and earthquakes. It shows the crust of the earth right there, the mantle, the
It says on the shirt.
The core.
this is the mantle. This is the crust, right?
That's the lower mantle.
Lower mantle.
And then inner core and outer core.
inner core.
Okay, very good. Thank you for the help also from our good friend. Who are you? I can't see the back of your head. Move over a little bit more. Come here.
It's Riker. It's Riker.
Oh, Riker, come up here and say hello. Oh, that was different. All right, have a seat, guys.
What in the heck was that?
All right. I do like that shirt. And where did you get it, Orson?
Target, yeah.
Okay, sometimes like if you go to Carnegie Science Center, they also have shirts like that, very scientific. They'll have Einstein, stuff like that. Yes.
Are the shirts overpriced?
Yes. Now, I don't know, guys, define overpriced. I have so many T-shirts, I don't know what to do with them. My wife is very frustrated with me because I have so many T-shirts. And the problem is she washes them so frequently after I wear them that the good ones get buried on the bottom of the pile. And if I had a nice Earth T-shirt like that, I may never see it. So I'm actually in the, I'm actually organizing them right now. All right, very good. Anytime you can have a science T-shirt or something that grabs somebody's attention, that's kind of neat. I appreciate that. I saw one time there was a guy that had a hot rod like dragster on his car, and the shirt said, "This is rocket science," meaning that's a very fast car, and it's it could almost be considered a rocket. Science. Okay, let's get back to the lesson though, which deals with what we're talking about. And we're talking about rapid changes in the Earth's surface, and that deals with earthquakes, volcanoes, mudslides, different things. We started reading this yesterday. There's a lot of things that work on the Earth. It's not like, let's say the moon, it's just a rock out there floating in space.
That's what it is.
Yeah, it's just a big rock floating out in space. We don't know of any evidence of anything happening on the moon. It does have an effect on the Earth, but it doesn't have all these changes going on all the time.
Make it hot outside.
All right, and on this page yesterday we talked about all the different big volcanoes that or not volcanoes, earthquakes that happened. We've had big earthquakes in Chile, Prince William Sound, Alaska, Russia, Ecuador, Alaska again, Russia again, Indonesia, Russia. So as you see, there are certain places that have more earthquakes than others. I always tell the story a few years ago. Well, my son's 20, so he was quite young at the time, but my daughter was a little bit older than him. And I thought, well, it would be okay if I took a ride to Elmer's Aquarium to get some supplies. What could possibly happen?
Nothing.
My daughter, right, I'm thinking nothing. I'll be back in a half hour, even though I was supposed to be watching them. But they were getting older, okay? They'll be fine. I drove to Elmer's Aquarium, this was a few years back. On the radio, they were talking about an earthquake that hit western Pennsylvania. That's where we live. And I'm in Elmer's Aquarium going, how do I explain this to my wife? I left the kids alone and an earthquake happened.
And an earthquake.
Yeah, I don't know if that's possible.
It happened. It never happens in western Pennsylvania, very rarely. It did affect Washington, D.C. It almost made the Washington Monument fall over. They spent many years repairing the Washington Monument after that. It's now open to the public. I've been in it since then. But you can see where the damage was, where the cracks were. It was not a strong earthquake. Moral of the story, don't leave your kids alone. Not even for 10 minutes. An earthquake can happen.
My dad left me alone once.
Well, as you get older, it's okay if you're home alone. But what what are the chances of an earthquake? Now, if I lived in California, they happen pretty frequently.
Yeah.
Western Pennsylvania?
Not
No.
really.
Okay, here's an earthquake that hit Japan, Kobe, Japan.
Kobe.
Yeah, not that Kobe, another one, the city. And it actually made a road buckle and fall down. That's not anything to cheer about. People probably got killed. Nothing to be excited about. Okay, on this page it shows Mount St. Helens. It's a very tall mountain, but by the time you get to the pictures on this page, you can see the whole top of it is gone. And it completely changed the environment around it. That happened in 1980. I was a sophomore in high school, my second year of high school.
You
And
told
the,
this.
yep, I told you yesterday, the big news was Mount St. Helens. I never even heard of it. Now all of a sudden, the whole top of a mountain's gone. I'm looking for really good behavior. Some of us are struggling today. Riker, you're behaving. What did you want to say?
Well, when the volcano erupted, supposedly it was one of the loudest sounds frequencies ever created, louder than an airplane.
Wow.
Oh, that's nuts.
Yeah, and they probably had some indication that that thing was ready to go, and they started getting out of the way because they have all kind of detectors. They know it was an active volcano with inside that mountain. Now there's another one called Mount Rainier, not like the teacher. This is like rain. Listen. That one's in Seattle, and I saw it. I was in Seattle, hands down. If it goes, Seattle's gonna go. Okay? And I was down in the valley looking up at this, and I was probably a 3-hour drive away. But they said if that thing goes, all of Seattle goes. No more Seahawks. Gone. Out of the playoffs, everything. All right, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
I went to Mount Rainier once, and I went to one of those overlooks, but I was so high, like it was so short of air, like I had to take really deep breaths.
You were actually on Mount Rainier?
I wasn't on it, I was by an overlook.
Wow. I never went that close. They told me the mountain is not always out. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's always there. They said, well, sometimes it gets so cloudy in Seattle, you can drive all the way there, and all you're going to see is the side of it, maybe 100 feet up, and then the clouds are going to be there. So do you want to take a 3-hour drive and maybe not see it? So I talked to my friends that went, because some of us went, some didn't. They said, yeah, the mountain was out. So I didn't get to see it. I did see it flying into Seattle. We flew around it.
What?
14,400 feet above sea level. You don't go above Mount Rainier, you go around it, because most planes travel about 10,000 miles. So it was another 4,000 feet above us, and we're like, yeah, let's just go around it. Orson,
I was in St. Louis Arch once.
you went to St. Louis Arch?
Yeah, it's
I
really
drove-
cool.
Oh, I drove by it. I didn't get a chance to go in
They
it.
have like little windows you can look down. It's so tall. It's like
Yeah, I'm not good with tall places. I just like to have my face my feet and my face on the ground. I don't know why. When I was younger, I'd get up in a bucket truck and fix things and do different things. When at my construction job, I don't do it anymore. Maybe that's what scared me. Lily,
I went out west for I think 2 weeks, and we did a road trip, and we went to see one of the second most tallest mountains in the world.
and what was it?
I forget what it was called.
Grand Teton Mountains?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. My friend Mike got on a bike. Well, he took a bus. Mike got on a bike. He took a bus to Oregon. He put his back tire in the Pacific Ocean, and he took a picture. And he rode it across the United States. It took him 66 days. Him and
On a
another guy
bike?
on a bicycle. 18 speeds. But not, he had a pedal. Took him 66 days. And then his mom was waiting for him at the Atlantic Ocean, and he drove right past her into the ocean. And his mom said, why would you do that, Michael? I've been waiting 66 days. He said, I was just so excited to be finally across the United States. What does this have to do with the second tallest mountain? He said the most beautiful sights were the Grand Teton Mountains. And he rode his bike through them. He said the hills were so steep it looked like he was going downhill, but he was going uphill. I said, I think you're going a little bit delirious. But he saw many, many things, and that was a long time ago. I used to ride bikes with Mike, and one day he rode his bike to Latrobe, Pennsylvania, to see the Steelers. I made it as far as Wendy's, and I said, "See ya, Mike. I'm getting a Frosty," and I went home. And then he continued his journey. But he's a very famous guy in my life, and he's seen many landforms. I don't know if Mike's ever seen a volcano, but there's a picture of an active volcano, what Mount St. Helens would look like. Yeah, Mike would not take his bike that close. And sometimes all these movements in the earth can cause a landslide, and if it's raining, it's going to cause a mudslide. So let me do a time check. We're at 10 minutes. The quiz is not till Friday, so today was kind of a casual type lesson. Make sure you know your study guides. Do your journal entry for today, and I hope you enjoyed Orson's shirt along with Riker's description and everything else today. All right, we'll see you online learners. Bye.